Is the material visible?
Yes, sir.
Last day we have discussed about the stationarity of random processes. We define the strict sense stationarity, also known as narrow sense stationarity, and we observe that that form of stationarity is very difficult for any random process to have that type of stationarity, except the Gaussian random processes. So we opted for a relaxed definition of stationarity, that is the second order stationarity. If a random process has second order stationarity, then it is known as the white sense stationarity also. The expectation is time invariant, the ensemble average. It doesn't depend on the time at which you obtain it, and the autocorrelation function, it doesn't depend on the absolute values of T1 and T2, but it depends only on the time lag. So it's Rx tau. So obviously, if you have any strict sense stationary random process, that will also be white sense stationary. But the converse is not true. If you have a white sense stationary random process, you cannot say that, you cannot say with certainty that it will also be strict sense stationary. Now let's have a discussion on the autocorrelation, the significance of the autocorrelation function. The autocorrelation function Rx tau, you can think about it, you can visualize it as a measure of the similarity between the waveform or the random process xt and its time shifted version xt plus tau. The random process xt and its time shifted version xt plus tau. Tau is called the lag parameter. So here I am just concentrating on the continuous time random process. How much of xt plus tau is retained in xt, or just the reverse? How much of xt is retained in xt plus tau? That measure is given by this autocorrelation function. To understand that, I am considering a zero mean random process xt, and from it I am forming a new random process yt equal to xt minus some value rho into xt plus tau. Now regarding this rho, if you determine the value of rho that minimizes the mean square value of this yt can be treated as an error signal, isn't it? It can be treated as an error signal. So the value of rho that you determine by minimizing the mean square error signal, you will have a measure of how much of xt plus tau is contained in xt. So that is expectation of y squared t. I have substituted the expression of yt here. Then I have blown it up. I have these terms. So first of all, what will be the expectation of x squared t? Expectation of y squared t, I am representing it by sigma y squared, because that is a variance. And we are considering zero mean random process. So the variance and the mean squared value, they will be same. Similarly here, mean square value of xt is same as its variance, minus twice rho, and the expectation operator will operate on this product xt plus tau. So expectation of xt into xt plus tau, that will be equal to rx tau. Next comes that last term, expectation of rho square x squared t plus tau. It will be, rho is a constant, so rho square will be equal, it will be rho square times the expectation of x squared t plus tau. X squared, expectation of x squared t plus tau is nothing but the mean square value. Because you can well understand that we are representing the autocorrelation function by Rx tau, not by Rx T1, T2, implies that we are assuming that the random process xt is Whitesian stationary. So expectation of x squared t plus tau, it's simply the expectation of x squared t. So it will be equal to sigma x squared. Now just differentiate, because we are trying to determine the value of rho that minimizes this mean square value of yt. On differentiating it and equating it to 0, we get rho as Rx tau divided by sigma x squared. So rho is directly related to Rx tau. It's known as the correlation coefficient. All right. You can just consider rho as a fraction of the wave shape of xt remaining after a time of tau units has elapsed. All right. So what does rho give? It gives statistically the average retention of the wave shape over the ensemble. Rho equal to 1 implies identical wave shapes, and we say that the wave shapes are completely correlated. Rho equal to 0 implies that the wave shapes are completely uncorrelated, implying that no part of xt plus tau is contained in xt, and rho equal to minus 1 stands for identical wave shapes but opposite signs. So write down this part. ACF means autocorrelation function.
Yes, sir, done.
Yes, sir, done.
To develop a deeper understanding, let's consider some examples. First example is that you are asked to consider a random process described by that relation xt equal to a cos omega t plus capital theta. So that is the case of randomly phased sinusoid because it is stated that capital theta is a uniformly distributed random variable. So over the span of theta extending from 0 to 2 pi, the probability density function is constant. Obviously, the value of the probability density function for theta equal to 0 to 2 pi, that will be equal to 1 by 2 pi, so that the area under the density function is 1. Question is the random process Whitesian stationary? To answer this question, you have to you have to find out whether the expectation, the ensemble average of this random process, whether that is dependent on time or not. Secondly, you have also to find out whether the autocorrelation function, it's dependent on the choice of the instance T1 and T2, or it only depends on the lag parameter tau, which is the difference between T1 and T2. Write down this problem, then I'll proceed. Solution. For the random process to be stationary in the wide sense, as I have told, two conditions have to be satisfied. Expectation of xt is constant, that means the ensemble average is a constant. It won't depend on t. And Rx, I am representing the autocorrelation function in case of WSS random processes as Rx, I mean, yes, Rx t comma t plus tau. Rx tau. In general, I am representing the autocorrelation function as Rx t comma t plus tau. Here it is written t plus tau comma t, doesn't matter. So we have to show, second thing that we have to show is the autocorrelation function, it doesn't depend on t, it only depends on tau. So first, remember that the random variable is theta, the phase angle. So to obtain the mean of xt, this is xt. To obtain the mean of xt, that means the ensemble average, what you have to do, you have to find out the expectation of xt. Here we are making use of the law of the unconscious statistician, wherein we may observe that expectation of g theta will be integration of g theta f theta. Here g theta is a cos omega t plus theta, and f theta is equal to 1 by 2 pi in that interval 0 to 2 pi. Therefore, expectation of xt will be given by this expression. All right. So 1 by 2 pi, that is a constant. If you integrate a cosine signal over theta equal to 0 to 2 pi, cosine signal is integrated over the theta equal to 0 to 2 pi. So that integral will be 0. So the expectation of xt, that is 0. The ensemble average is 0. It's constant. Now come to the autocorrelation function. Expectation of x t plus tau t into xt. I have substituted the expressions here. So a squared term will be there. A squared term will come out. Then expectation of cos omega t plus omega tau into cosine omega t plus theta. Cosine omega t plus omega tau plus theta times cosine omega t plus theta. So it's cos A cos B. Therefore, it will be half into cosine omega tau plus cosine twice omega t plus omega tau plus 2 theta. All right. What will we have now? Expectation of cosine omega tau. Remember that here what is changing is theta. Random variable is theta. So with respect to theta, cosine omega tau is a constant. Therefore, expectation of a constant value, that will be cosine omega tau itself. What will be the expectation of cosine twice omega t plus omega tau plus 2 theta? If you integrate, if you find out the expectation of this term, because theta is there, that expectation will be 0. So ultimately, the autocorrelation function becomes a square by 2 cosine omega tau. So it depends only on tau, not on t. Since the mean is constant and the autocorrelation functions depends only on tau, the random process xt is stationary in wide sense. That part you have copied, now the solution. When you find out the expectation, you have to remember that the variable of integration is theta, not time. Because you are performing the integration along the ensemble, along the collection. Here, if you treat the cosine function of theta, to integrate the cosine function of theta for theta extending from uh, 0 to 2 pi, then obviously the result of the integration will be 0.
Done, sir.
So ensemble average is constant 0, and autocorrelation function is a function of tau, the lag parameter.
So didn't write that. Can you just go up once?
This is simply that identity.
Just writing it, sir. Just one.
Okay. মাকে বল। কি করছিস এটা?
Yes, sir. Done.
Have a look at this problem. Next problem. Xt is given by that expression, a cosine omega t plus b sine omega t, where a and b, they are zero mean and IID non-Gaussian random variables. You know what IID stands for? Independent and identically distributed non-Gaussian random variables with mean square value of sigma squared. You have to show that xt is Whiteson stationary but not Strickson stationary. I have categorically stated here that they are non-Gaussian random variables because if A and B are IID Gaussian random variables with zero mean, then xt will automatically be Strickson stationary. So I am excluding that case. That's why I have written non-Gaussian random variables. So how do you proceed with this problem? Expectation of xt. Expectation of xt will be expectation of a cos omega t plus expectation of b sin omega t. Remember that the random variables are a and b. So to the expectation operator, cosine omega t will serve as a constant. So first term will be expectation of A into cosine omega t. Again, the next term, sine omega t, will appear as a constant to the expectation operator. So it's expectation of B into sine omega t. Now, because it is stated that A and B are zero mean, so expectation of A is zero, expectation of B is zero. Therefore, expectation of xt comes out as zero. What about the autocorrelation function? Rx t plus tau. I have substituted the expression for xt and xt plus tau here. Because A and B, they are statistically independent, they are also statistically uncorrelated. Also, A and B, each of them has zero mean. So what do you get here? There will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So there will be 4 terms. If you multiply xt with xt plus tau, 4 terms. In these 4 terms, there will be one term containing a square cosine omega t into cosine omega t plus tau. So therefore, you will have a term expectation of a square cosine omega t plus tau. There will be another term which will be expectation of b squared into sine omega t into sine omega t plus tau. So that term is here. The other two terms, for the other two terms, what will be there? Expectation of a into b times cosine omega t into sine omega t plus tau. Expectation of a into b means, because A and B are statistically uncorrelated, they are also statistically, because they are statistically independent, they are also statistically uncorrelated. So expectation of AB will be equal to expectation of A into expectation of B. Now, because A and B each is zero mean, that expectation of AB will be zero. So the other two terms will be zero. Other two terms containing expectation of AB, they will be zero. That's why this is the expression for Rx t plus tau. All right. Because A and B are identically distributed, their variances will be same. So mean square value and variance, obviously they are same because they are zero mean. So expectation of A square equal to expectation of B square equal to sigma squared. So Rx t plus tau, that will be simply equal to sigma square cosine omega tau. All right. Just place sigma square here, sigma square there. You will have sigma square into 1 cos A cos B term plus sigma square into 1 sin A sin B term. So that will yield sigma square cosine omega tau. Therefore, xt is Whiteson stationary. To show that it is not Stickson stationary, let's consider the third moment. The third moment of xt, expectation of x cube t. So it is expectation of a cosine omega t plus b sine omega t whole cubed. All right. It will come out as expectation of a cube cosine cube omega t plus expectation of b cube sine cube omega t. The remaining terms, they will be zero because of this fact. Because A and B, they are statistically uncorrelated and zero mean. The other terms will be zero. So finally, you will have expectation of a cube. All right. Cos cube omega t plus expectation of b cube sine cube omega t. Because A and B, they are identically distributed, expectation of a cube and expectation of b cube, they will be same. So that is the final expression for the autocorrelation function. So just see that this is not a constant. This doesn't depend. This depends on t. So this is not a function of tau only. It depends on t. It's a function of t. Therefore, The process will not be strictly stationary for any random variable a such that the third moment of a that is not equal to 0. All right, under that condition. Did you write down this problem? No, write it down.
Yes, sir, done.
To understand the next aspect of random process, let me put forward a question in this way, that not a question but some observations. You have seen that if the random process under consideration is wide sense stationary, then the task of completely characterizing the random process is eased to a certain extent. But still we have a long way to go, because first of all, you should have access to a large number of sample realizations of the random process. Secondly, to completely characterize the random process, you have to carry out computation across the ensemble, the autocorrelation function, etc. Obtaining the expectation, once you are in grip of, once you find that there are sufficient number of sample realizations, obtaining the expectation is not a problem. You can obtain the expectation at any instant. But obtaining the autocorrelation function calls for obtaining the value of Rx for several values of tau. All right. So that is still a problem. The problem is further aggravated by the fact that you will not always be able to capture sufficient number of sample realizations. As a matter of fact, in a wide variety of cases, in most of the cases, you will be able to capture only a single sample realization. A single sample realization. Then how to find out the statistical properties of the entire ensemble? If the sample realization, only one sample realization is available to you, how do you characterize the entire ensemble? Now, to understand that, I am introducing the time averages and a certain description of a random process, which is known as ergodicity. Now, for any wide sense stationary random process, as a matter of fact, any random process as such, you can have time average, you can have the expectation, you can have the statistical mean, the mean computed along the time axis. All right. The average computed along the time axis. That is given by this expression, equation 19. The angle codes, they stand for time average. So small xt is any sample realization of the random process. So its time average will be given by this expression, where twice t0 is the record length of the sample realization. All right. So for the sample realization x1t, you will have time average of x1t by some represented by angle codes of x1t. For small x2t, you will have its time average small x2t given by this expression. Only thing that will change here is you have to either put x1t or x2t or x3t depending on the sample realization that you are considering. You can also compute the time autocorrelation function of the sample realization. How? It is the time average of this product. So it will be, as t naught tends to infinity, the result of this integration divided by twice t naught. As t naught tends to infinity, that gives the time autocorrelation function. All right. That was for that is the case for the continuous time random process. In case of the discrete time random process, for every sample realization, now just see, because the expectation, the mean is computed along the time axis. Now in case of the discrete random variable, it will be summation over minus n to plus n xn. that summation divided by 2n plus 1. In the limit as n tends to infinity, that will give you the mean of this time average of this sample realization xn. So you will have the time average of x1n, you will have the time average of x2n, you will have the time average of x3n, etc. All right. The time autocorrelation sequence can also be obtained for the discrete time random process. That is the expression. All right. Now I define a type of random process that is known as ergodic random process. How is it defined? Ergodic random process has to be a wide sense random process, first of all. So it is a wide sense random process. It's ergodic if ensemble averages involving the process can be calculated using the time average of any and every realization of the process. So if the ensemble average, if the ensemble autocorrelation function that can be obtained by picking up any one of the sample realization, any one, I repeat, and computing the time average and computing the time autocorrelation function. Then we say that the random process under consideration is ergodic. So condition for ergodicity is that for every sample realization that you have, the time average and the time autocorrelation function will give you the ensemble average and the ensemble autocorrelation function. So if that condition is satisfied, we have an ergodic random process there. Obviously, we have only one sample realization required. From one sample realization, we can obtain the characteristic of the entire ensemble. So there are two restricted forms of ergodicity. Ergodicity in mean, when this condition is satisfied, time average is ensemble average, and ergodicity in autocorrelation, when that is satisfied. And this one for the discrete time random process. For a random process to be ergodic, it must first of all be wide sense stationary. But the converse is not true. All right. That if it is wide sense stationary, it is not necessarily ergodic. But if it is ergodic, it is compulsorily wide sense stationary. Write down this part. just see that I have used different fonts to represent the time autocorrelation function and the ensemble autocorrelation function. The font of capital R is different in the two cases.
So done.
Why it is divided by 2n plus 1? Because the number of samples here is n plus 1. If you take into consideration the sample for small n equal to 0. এটা কি হলো বলো তো, দাঁড়াও 1 মিনিট, এটা নিজে চলে এসছে। ওহো,
স্যার ওই অ্যান্ড টাইম অটো কোরিলেশন সিকোয়েন্সটা কোথায় রাখলে?
এই যে এটার আগে
ঠিক
time
আছে।
autocorrelation sequence is given by that expression. হয়েছে? Here is a case where, just 1 minute, I have just shown that this is the direction of time average and that is the direction of the vertical direction is the direction of ensemble average. That's what I have shown here. If you still have any doubt, so these are signals coming from microphones.
Yes, sir. Sir, no, I did not do it.
ঠিক আছে।
Yes, sir, done.
The case of offset voltages of operational amplifiers, that case here, this is the direction of ensemble average, this is the direction of time average. So this is a case where the random process is stationary. Stationarity in wide sense is there, but they are not, but the random process is not ergodic. U1, U2, etc. These are the offset voltages from the op amps 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. up to capital N. Okay, let's stop here today.
Yes, sir.
Done, sir.
আর কারো বাকি নেই তো? So I am just logging out. So we'll meet on Wednesday at 7